Hello, and welcome to week 2 of the PGL Season 16 draft. This week we are going against No. We're battling very soon, so I'm going to try to get through this team builder super fast. As I said last week, we did switch out our Jirachi, I believe, for Thunderous Incarnate. I think it's just a way better fit for our team. Handles a lot of things that we really kind of struggled with without it. And we're probably bringing it this week. So we'll get to the team I'm bringing shortly. We'll look at the matchup real quick, and then if you want to just skip straight to the battle, I always put time codes into the description. So if you only care about the battle, you can just go straight there, and you'll probably see all the sets anyway, because I do like to mouse over everything before a battle, regardless. But anyway, our opponent this week is No. Very threatening team. For those who watch pretty regularly, No knocked me down in the VGC season last season, so that I had to play Quick in the quarterfinals, and it ended up losing me out of quarterfinals because Quick is just a way better battler as far as VGC goes. Probably singles too, but yet to be seen. I think we might be 1-1, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, No is a really good battler, so I think we're gonna have to play this one kind of carefully. Unfortunately, this Pokemon, Clefable, gives me a ton of trouble. A lot of my team is based around setup or just hitting with strong special attacks from Pokemon like Terapagos, Sylveon, and Didi. So a Calm Mind Clefable with Moonblast and one coverage move, and then being able to heal itself with either Wish or like Moonlight, is a big threat for my team. So I tried to kind of build around it. Huge issue though, just the base fairy type too. My ways to hit it are Magneton, which can't trap Golden Ghost, so it has no reason to be here. We've got the Overquill that's always threatened by mons like Garchomp. And then we've got, Swords Dance Hawlucha can do like 70% at +2 with Mold Breaker to break through unaware. Otherwise, we do things like set Toxic Spikes to see whether it's unaware or Magic Guard, so that we know if we can set up before it's gone or not. But yeah, Clefable and breaking it is going to be kind of like our Skarmory battle last week, where once we can get rid of the Clefable, I think we're in good shape, but it's going to be getting rid of Clefable that's the hard part. He's got the Garchomp. Obviously, Garchomp got a lot of really cool tools this generation. I think it's a super solid first pick. I don't know that it was his first pick. It was at least its most expensive Pokemon on his roster. You know how Garchomp works. It's got Stealth Rock, Spike, Scale Shot. I believe it got back Earthquake. Just super solid. One of the best Pokemon in any format it's allowed in, honestly. He's got the Meowscarada. Does give me some issues because it is faster than my fastest Pokemon with Hawlucha. So it can just run max speed, and it outspeeds anything on mine that's not scarfed or boosted in some way. So that's kind of difficult for me to deal with. I think he might run like a hazard lead. So the way I'm looking at this is both of us have setup threats that the other struggles with. So it's kind of whoever sets up first wins. And to facilitate that, we both have like hazard setting leads, I would imagine. Luckily, mine beats his. So Overquill should always beat Meowscarada in a 1v1. So I'm hoping if his plan is lead, Meowscarada gets spikes up, I can kind of counter that with Overquill. But otherwise, it's threatening with Triple Axle. It's got Flower Trick that always crits. Knock off U-turn. So really solid Pokemon with Choice Band, heavy duty boots, whatever it wants to carry. It's always going to be a threat and a late game sweeper. Golden Go, obviously really strong Mon too. Any status moves that I thought about bringing to help me deal with Clefable, like Encore, Thunder Wave, anything like that, does not work on Golden Go at all. So it's really annoying to deal with this pair. The typing is also a struggle. I would have loved to have just run mono normal attacking move on Terapagos with Rapid Spin or Calm Mind plus Rest Talk, but that just was not an option this week with Golden Go Around because it would completely wall any Rest Talk set I ran that was worth running pretty much. Make It Rain and Shadow Ball is really good coverage into my team. I think it hits everything neutrally. Luckily, we have a few natural kind of answers to it on the team. Some specially defensive Pokemon that don't really care. But it's still a threat if it starts nasty plotting. He's got the Infernape. Obviously, another really good Pokemon. I don't know that it comes versus me because I do have a few hard checks to it. If it does come, I feel like it would run mixed or even specials so they could have Grass Knot for Swampert, because otherwise Swampert just walls it, really well. Otherwise, though, it could run like a Rocks lead on the Infernape. It would at least be a better matchup into Overquill than Meowscarada. It can also pivot around. He's got a ton of pivots into setup, so that's kind of the hard thing to deal with. He's got the Blastoise. If he does bring it this week, I do expect it to be a Shell Smash sweeper, because if he can get to +2 with it, it does kind of run through most of my team. Luckily, I'm bringing a little something in the back to help me deal with a special Shell Smash Blastoise, assuming it doesn't and it can't carry an electric move. So should be okay against it as long as Go-Go doesn't go down early. But yeah, it's a threat. And then he has Fungus. I'll go ahead and go over his last non-Terramon. I don't expect it to show up. Fungus, for all it's worth in doubles, is less valuable in singles because Rage Powder doesn't do anything. So I don't anticipate Fungus showing up. I don't think it's particularly good into the matchup, but who knows? Maybe he decides to bring it for whatever reason. But if he does, Go-Go, once it Terra, should always deal with it. Overqwil should always deal with it. It's not an issue. For his last three, I'm going to bring up the page we have in the actual doc so we can see the Terra types. So he's got Meloetta. Last week, this Meloetta went absolutely insane. It's like a choice specs, like bulky choice specs, Terra normal hyper voice. So really disgusting set, honestly. Absolutely blew up his opponent's team. He could definitely bring it again against me. Like, my normal switch-ins aren't great. So really threatening Pokemon here. Also could be Terra Poison. I don't really understand that one, to be honest. I'm sure there's a reason he has it, but I don't know why you would run Terra Poison over a different type. But hey, it's got to have a reason. So I mean, it's good defensively. So maybe a good Calm Mindset would be worth bringing. He's got Terra Fighting as well. So if he did run Pirouette for him, he would get the double stab on like close combats. And also he could run Terra Blast Fighting without committing to like Focus Blast. So Meloetta is one of my favorite mons to use. So going against it always scares me because I know this thing has a ton of potential. He's got the Braviary. Pretty standard Terra types, I would say. Water is it definitely could have been something else, but I could see why you'd want a super bulky water with Roost because his standard bulky water doesn't really have recovery. But yeah, Braviary, so he's got the Defiant, so I can't just freely, like if I did bring Defog, I couldn't just click it freely, or I could boost the Braviary and really put myself in a bad spot. And then Terra Flying and Fighting, just boosting those two, those close combats or those Brave Birds makes it a really threatening physical attacker. Otherwise, I don't know that it shows up. It might as like a Scarfer, but I don't really see it being better than like these top 5 and Blastoise or Meloetta, but we'll see. And then finally, he's got the Chimecho. You guys know Chimecho is pretty cool. I think a few people have showcased it. Like, it gets Levitate, it can Terra into something that's weak to ground, not have that weakness, and suddenly it's not weak to hardly anything. It can start Calm Minding, I believe, or start Cosmic Powering, and then firing off stored powers, Draining Kiss, healing itself. So super annoying, bulky Pokemon, but it has to get set up first. So I'm hoping we have enough offense in the tank to deal with it. So yeah, that's the matchup. And now let's look at what I'm bringing. All right, and here's our team for week 2. Obviously, the Go-Go worked so well last week, and honestly, Nono has like 0 electric coverage on his team. He could run like Thunderbolt on Meloetta, but I really don't think it bothers this Go-Go that much. Especially once we get set up, we can just Horn Leech, one-shot it, and heal ourselves back to full. So I think if this Go-Go gets 1 bulk up, we're in great shape. I did almost run Moringa Berry, so that once we get hit by a special attack, we get a +1 to our special defense, and then we can take multiple hits from our special defense and maybe set up a little better. But in scenarios I was thinking about for this battle, I think a lot of times we're going to have to use Go-Go mid-game to knock out a potential threat like Blastoise. So I think it's better to just have leftovers. They're much more consistent, and that way we're not burning our single-use item like we did last week with the booster energy. We've got the Thundurus. I think I wanted to run a bulk up Thundurus as well. I feel like once Clefable is gone, bulk up is incredibly strong into his team, but ended up deciding that support's probably better. J-Scarf helped me decide that, honestly. We've got the Knockoff U-Turn. Knockoff's just super solid to click into his team, get rid of a bunch of items. U-Turn, just good pivoting. We really just want to pivot as much as we can with a mixture of Thundurus and Swampert. And then Eerie Impulse plus Thunder Wave just helps us against his setup threats. So being able to knock out Clefable's special attack faster than it can set itself up if it is unaware is going to handle it well. And then Thunder Wave, just having the speed of a lot of his Pokemon is really important for a lot of these Pokemon to do a lot more work, because his speed tiers just are kind of better than mine overall. So That's kind of why we're bringing Thunderwave. I thought about Taunt. Taunt would have been great too, but I don't know. I don't know if it was worth bringing over these. I think these specific moves really deal with things pretty well. Also, I wanted to bring Leftovers or Citrus Berry, but Heavy Duty Boost is just much more consistent if he does get rocks up, because I'm not bringing any kind of... Well, I'm bringing Rapid Spin, but I'm not bringing removal that I'm going to click reliably, because Golden Go can always come in on Rapid Spin. I've got the Gouging Fire. This set is interesting because it's made to break the Clefable. So I think the Clefable is always going to be a problem no matter what. So just being able to set up Sunny Day gives us not only a 50% boost to Heat Crash's damage because of the sun, but also gives us our Photosynthesis Fire type attack boost. Those two things together are not blocked by Unaware, so a Heat Crash is doing like 85% minimum to Clefable in the sun. So if we expect Clefable to be the main answer for Gouging Fire, we set up a Sunny Day and we just blow it up with Heat Crash. Otherwise, Scale Shot goes really crazy into Garchomp. It lets us outspeed it on the next turn, and it also sometimes KOs it. It depends on the hits we get and if Garchomp's weakened at all. But we'll see what happens. We're also running Boots on this. Just, precautionary. I think he could very easily get T-Spikes up early game and stop me from ever removing them with Terapagos. We've got the Terapagos, speaking of which, max health and just kind of enough speed to outrun Meowscarada after we Rapid Spin if we do get one off. Otherwise, just bulky, honestly. Rest Chesto is really solid to get our ability back, but since we're not bringing a Wish Passer this week. We've got the Terra Starstorm, really easy click into everybody except Golden Go, and then I put Dark Pulse on for Golden Go. I considered Earth Power, but I think he had a couple Pokemon off the ground, so clicking something that does some kind of damage to Braviary and Chimecho switching in is better than clicking something that does 0 damage. So I don't want to play the 50-50 game, especially if I'm going to be like Toxic with Toxic Spikes. We've got the Overquill. It is our lead. It's not Sash, even though the name is Lead Sash. We've got Custap, and these EVs are specifically so that we can't get one shot by any kind of Garchomp or any kind of other like special attacking shenanigans. We always take one hit, hopefully get knocked down into Custap range. We set a layer of Toxic Spikes, and then assuming we can live whatever hazards he sets up, we switch it out, and later we bring it in for a priority Destiny Bond or priority Stab Attack if it comes down to it and his last Pokemon's weakened. Throw Chop's actually really good for Meloetta, just because it stops it from clicking Hyper Voice. It's also better to click into Braviary because we can't proc Defiant like we could with Crunch, getting a defense drop. And finally we have Swampert. This slot was Hawlucha. Like, it was at first like support Hawlucha, which was kind of weird, and then it was Sword Stance Hawlucha. Ended up not liking either of those sets into No-No. So unfortunately, Luchadidi is just not showing up. Hopefully my opponents are over-prepping for it, though. But yeah, this Swampert is just simple. It's max defense, Rocky Helmet, deals with Infernape that's not Grass Knot, deals with Garchomp, and roars out anything that tries to set up on it. And then we've got Dual Stab and Ice Beam. Ice Beam, even with Impish 0, special attack investment, does more damage to Garchomp and does comparable damage to Meowscarada, so I thought it was fine. So yeah, that's the team. Let's get into the battle. And we're back. And it looks like he brought about what I expected. No Infernape. Okay. So I was kind of right on that. Otherwise, it looks like pretty standard stuff, like all his top threats, which why would he not bring them, So if we look at our prep doc real quick, I did not bring Hawlucha, I did not bring Sylveon, nor Indeedee or Magneton. He did not bring Infernape, Braviary, Chimecho, or Fungus. So makes sense. Yeah, so he's definitely got the speed advantage on me. If we look at his types, he's really weak to Fairy, which I didn't really bring a Fairy type this week, so that might have been a mistake. But most of his Fairy weeks have some kind of coverage or answer, and Golden Go isn't always checked to Sylveon unless I ran like Choice Spec Shadow Ball and just caught it off guard. But obviously Meloetta is a problem for it too. So our dedicated lead is the Overquill. It has a pretty good matchup into most of his team. He leads Meloetta. Your own medicine. What does that mean? That scares me a little bit. I mean, it can't knock me out. I will get a damage calc up on the other screen. Overquill into Meowscarada with choice specs. Yeah, this never gets close to knocking me out, so I can just set a T-Spike for free. He does Terra Normal. With Terra Normal, it's a roll. I couldn't run more Spadef than that. Unless he's modest. If he's modest, then it was not a roll, but that's crazy. So that's cool. Didn't get our T-Spikes up turn 1, which is not great. Obviously, Terapagos can come in. Thunderous could also come in, but I think everything just gets blown back by this. Depending on if he's timid, it's a lot of rolls. So I could just go Terapagos. Take the hit. Dark Pulse doesn't really do much though. Thunderous Knockoff doesn't do much. Thunderous Knockoff does get rid of the specs though, so we can't do that. So, not a good first turn, but it's okay. If he was modest, then it blew me back for sure. But if it's timid, which it probably is versus my speed tiers, who knows? Doesn't matter now. We lose Overquill. Let me see, just out of curiosity. Yeah, modest, the roll is way more in his favor, but it is still a roll. Timid, it's like not in his favor. It's like 30%. But, you know. I couldn't really run other EVs elsewhere, or else Overquill would have died to like lead Chomp Earthquake. So yeah, I had to pick my battles. I guess I should have known he was just going to Terra turn 1, but it could have been, you know, fighting or poison as well. So yeah, if it's not broke though, I mean, this thing is just an absolute monster. Like my team has no ghost type really, so don't blame him at all for bringing this set. I think it's super solid into me. So, no Toxic Spike sucks, and not having that emergency Destiny Bond in the back, but I think Overquill was kind of the least useful thing. The only thing it did was it was our backup check to Clefable if we were to lose Gouging Fire. If we lose Gouging Fire now, we kind of just lose to Clefable, and that's okay. So we do knock off the specs. He clicks Hyper Voice again. It does a crazy amount of damage. So if you skip to the battle, welcome. The team builder obviously didn't matter that much with Overquill just getting blown up immediately. If you did watch everything, thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind to like or subscribe, I normally don't like to ask, but you know, it's kind of downtime in the battle. We're waiting on him to pick his move. So I figured I might as well put it out there because it is shown that it does help if you do ask people to do that. So, you know, what's it hurt? We definitely need to keep this Thunderous alive in the back. If he goes into Chomp and it's like Helmet, rough skin Rocky Helmet, I don't think we die, but it's close. I assume if this is specs, Hyper Voice, probably Psychic coverage, maybe Energy Ball for Swampert or Thunderbolt for Water Go-Goat, and then maybe U-Turn. That's what I would imagine. So we do U-Turn, he does stay in. Is this thing like really bulky? Like, I feel like we did like no damage to that. It's got some investment. I guess we can go into Terapagos. You know, why not? Because we can always rest back up, get back to full. We don't really want to take damage on anybody else. Do you get the Terra Shift? He does just Hyper Voice again. It still does 28% as a resist. So it's going to do over 50. I can spin to get my speed up here. This looks cool. I will just spin, try to outspeed it so that I can rest next turn. And then hit it with a, whatever the move's called, Terra Starstorm. This thing's a problem. I really did not prep much for Meowscarada. I knew it was an issue. I just didn't prep well for it. I feel like the games I lose are the ones where people lead super aggressively. Yeah, so it does 55. Our rapid spin did 13%, which is a reasonably good damage. I will rest here, get back to full. get my ability back up, and then we're fast. But I don't think Terra Starstorm KOs it in 1. It will KO it in 2, though. And we take 2 hits. It'll take 2 more Hyper Voices to KO us. So what I can probably do is Terra Starstorm after resting this turn, then Dark Pulse on the next turn because it should knock this out, and it should also catch the Golden Go coming in. I do think I will nominate this for MVP, though, because it has went kind of crazy, and we do weekly awards in the PGL. And obviously when people just lead pure offense, I just struggle. Which, you know, we all have our archetypes that we like playing and going against. And I definitely like playing the slow, bulky game. And so when somebody just leads an insane breaker, I'm screwed. But it's fine. We'll figure it out. So what do you guys think of DLC 2 so far? I don't know that it changed up as much as DLC 1. Obviously, there's a lot of cool new Pokemon in like Gouging Fire and Raging Bolt, Terapagos, things like that. But I don't know. I feel like the Ogre Pawns really blew up the meta for a second. And these new guys are like, there's so much in like OU and stuff right now that it's like hard to nail down anything except that Rain team that's been running around everywhere. But yeah, that's beside the point. But yeah, I did think it's kind of cool that they made the Uber's UU tier so that we could actually use some of the Pokemon in that. So Golden Go comes out immediately, which is actually nice for me because we have our speed boost and we get back to full health. Dark Pulse probably doesn't 2-hit KO this. I will check my calc real quick. It depends on the Golden Go set. So yeah, Dark Pulse really never KOs it. Earth Power would have KO'd, 2-hit KO'd with like max special attack, but that was a lot to run to deal with it. I do think I'm not really in a position to do much, so we'll just Dark Pulse. He does pivot into the Blastoise, so he doesn't want to take any damage on his Golden Go. So Terapagos and a Blastoise, we can kind of get an idea of the set. For some reason, there's no default Blastoise sets in the calc. Dark Pulse should do 16 to 19 to 0 bulk Blastoise. Is that right? Oh, I'm not big Terapagos. Oops. All right, 23. So pretty standard. So if he's got max HP, yeah, that's a roll for like max HP. So Terra Starstorm 2-shots it. And if he wants to Shell Smash, that's okay. Because we're at full health. So yeah, that's an easy 2-shot. And he roars us out, but we keep our max health. We're not booster. Learned my lesson. But I also don't know that we can knock this out because that Terra Starstorm was like max HP, but not max special defense, which makes me think it might be full, excuse me, real voice reveal, might be full physical. And if it is, then Skull Shot needs 3 hits to knock it out, which I don't trust. But what do I want to switch into Blastoise here, you know? Like, obviously we want Go-Go to be Terra, but I don't want him to, like, Ice Beam me. I could just click a Water move if he Scalds or something. That's annoying for Go-Go, but otherwise I do think it can kind of just come in here. I think I will just do that. Because it would take a lot for us to knock this out. Because even at max health only, we're not doing that much, and, you know, he's going to have a dedicated check to the Gouging Fire. He might want to Roar again, in case I, like, Dragon Dance, because that is pretty threatening into everything that's not Clefable. I guess if Clefable comes in here, it's kind of annoying, because Go-Go can't really beat it, assuming it's unaware, and there's no way for us to tell with no T-Spikes. But we'll just switch into the Go-Go. He does Roar again, so he really just doesn't want me to set up. So Pert comes in. We can't just hit this. Fizdef Pert does not really want to take a Water move from Blastoise, though. I don't know that it gets Scald anymore, but I'll throw that in the calc. Into our Pert. He's doing like 20% to us. Our Earthquake's almost knocking him out. I think I'll just flip turn, honestly. I'll go back into Go-Go. Okay, he flip turns first. Takes Rocky Helmet, so Blastoise is almost dead. So that's a good sign. Clefable comes in. We flip turn, do a crit 25%, so we can kind of get an idea of the set. Flip turn on a crit. is doing 23 to 27 to max defense Clefable. So I think this is worst case scenario. I think this is Calm Mind Clefable. So I do think I will go into the Gouging Fire. If we eat a para here, we eat a para. We can't really do anything about it. I am just going to click Sunny Day. I think that's the only way we break Clefable. Which unfortunately, once we Sunny Day, he can always just sack, you know, Blastoise and then bring in Garchomp. And it's a big problem for us. Also did not run all that much speed on this Gouging Fire, so there is a chance that Meloetta outruns us. A pretty good chance. Stays in, goes for a Wish. Well, Heat Crash is going to do insane damage to something. I could Scale Shot if I really wanted to predict the Garchomp coming in. I don't think I will. I think I will just click Heat Crash. So... yeah, if Garchomp comes in and we have our booster in the sun. I mean, Heat Crash is still two-shotting it, but Scale Shot would definitely blow it back with this attack boost. I don't know if he anticipates how strong this Heat Crash is going to be, but he probably will calc it, or calc Flare Blitz. So we'll see. I'm glad I at least get to show off the set. Chomp does come in. He Crash does a lot, but then Wish will get it back up. I should have Scale Shot it, I guess. But we do have a natural answer to this in the Pert. So, no worries there. I assume he'll be Scale Shot too, honestly. He used a Stealth Rock, okay. So, Boots were the right decision. Obviously, I could Ice Beam and do a huge chunk. I could also just Flip Turn. He's really never breaking Pert with this. Tough choice. He's been switching quite a bit, so I do think I will... what's my switch into this? I think I'm going to Ice Beam. I think I need to weaken Chomp because I just realized I don't have great answers to it. Oh, and Rocks is smart because it will break my stuff. Okay, so we do chip the Blastoise. He can Flip Turn or Roar. He could also technically Rapid Spin, I suppose. If he Flip Turns here, he knocks himself out to Helmet. And then we're kind of stuck in, which would be awkward. I could hard switch in Go-Goat here and go ahead and get it Terastallized. But I almost like the Grass typing versus Chomp, actually. Like, it's really useful so that he can't just spam Earthquake. So we'll just go for the Flip Turn. If he does KO himself on my Helmet here, that's okay. And if he's, like, Scald Burns us, that's fine, too. Because Pert's really not here to deal physical damage. So, yeah, we're not looking great into Chomp. I think next time we definitely need to click Scale Shot with Gouging Fire. But, you know, I guess that's something we should have done there. Should have made the hard read. Because, honestly... that set kind of just wins when it gets a speed boost. We may not get that opportunity again. So if we do lose this game, I think I will chalk it up to that one misplay. Because even if Scale Shot wouldn't have knocked it out, it would have given us a big speed boost. Wait, did it not outspeed us last time? Are we speed tying? Yeah, it definitely outsped us last time. That's funny. I guess we bring in Go-Goat. And he roared. Okay, makes sense. So I could roar, but he'll go first, which is kind of awkward. Does he want to be in versus Pert, though? I guess he could hit it with something like Meloetta, and that would be annoying. Oh, that Flip Turn also did nothing because of the sun, which I completely forgot about. So we'll just Flip Turn again. His options are to Flip Turn himself or roar again. Both of which are fine. He's trying to get chip damage on my two Pokemon that are weak to rocks. Luckily, we've got the boots on both of them. Tough game so far. Okay, we do get the Flip Turn. We do knock him out. So what do we want in? I guess Thundurus is as good of a bring in as we're going to get. Alternatively, we could do Terapagos because he doesn't really have anything that can break it in one. Also do Go-Goat, but I don't really see a reason to bring that in because Pokemon like Clefable just threaten it. Yeah, I think I'll do Thundurus. Because if Clefable, or if any of these faster, if like Meowscarada comes in, I can U-turn potentially. Yeah, I guess I need to bait the Golden Go back in with Terapagos. Meowscarada does come in. It is dark, so it will be immune to any of my prankster moves, which is pretty annoying. It would have been great to have an Overquill, but it would have been super weakened even if it hadn't got knocked out. So we'll U-turn. If it knocks me out, it knocks me out. I think we've just got to pick our sacks, pick what's left that's useful to us at this point, which is fine. Got to start making some big plays, I think. I could, so if I do get this U-turn off, I'd definitely go into Gouging Fire and probably click Scale Shot to set up on the Chomp. Get speed boosted past it. It could be Scarf, actually, now that I think about it. So, whoa, okay. That was definitely like a bug on this version of Showdown. So he did knock off and KO Thundurus. I guess I could have went Pert there, got some Helmet Chip, but then we were obviously threatened. Is it Scarf Chomp? Did he bring Scarf Rocks? If he did, that's so rude. He could have. I think he might have. So I think I can bring in Terapagos here and go for the Dark Pulse, trying to call Golden Go coming in. Could also go Gouging Fire. He could knock us off. I think I will, though. I think we need the offensive pressure. We'll just click Scale Shot. That way we can boost past it in speed. If it knocks us off, it is what it is. We can always heal back up because this thing is really not offensively threatening to us at all. Triple Axel's doing like... Oh, well, that's with Protean. So Garchomp comes in on the Scale Shot. It's Haban Berry, but it only blocks 1. We only get 2 hits, though. So scroll back down. So we're doing 22, so we need at least 3 hits. Do I gamble my win condition on the chance we don't get 2 hits or miss with Scale Shot? And, well, it's definitely not Scarf because it's Haban Berry. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, there's not really a good way for us to break Chomp otherwise. So I think just Scale Shotting again. The odds are in our favor, you know. Saying that out loud probably jinxes me. But to get at least 3 hits is not that difficult a task. He does pivot into the Clefable. He might go for Wish. I definitely will set Sun again. I don't know what he may have for this, if anything. I mean, he could definitely Thunder Wave us, which would be annoying. He could knock us off. Moonblast does 30%, so we could just heal that back up. We have no reason to just spam like fire moves into him instantly. Chomp might die to Heat Crash, but it's unlikely. I think he does have some bulk, so it's doing like 50%. T-Spikes would have been amazing. So we do set Sunny Day. He goes for Moonblast. Yeah, it does 30%. Drops our special attack, which is negligible. Heat Crash will do a ton. He's weakening us for something. It makes me think he's hiding a Scarf, or maybe Golden goes Scarfed. So we'll just go for a Heat Crash. Could also just heal, though. Like, Morning Sun is really free into this. But if Garchomp comes in... Well, I guess we're Photosynthesis... Oh, no. Because we boosted with Scale Shot, we're Photosynthesis speed now, so we're not doing as much damage with Heat Crash. So we'll click that first, because he definitely has a chance to Wish here. Okay, he does just go into the Chomp. Heat Crash just 39%. Hits us with Rough Skin. I mean, I'll just click Scale Shot here. He can go back into Clefable. He can play this game bouncing back and forth all he wants. I'm never going to give Garchomp a chance to attack me. I know Scale Shot, clicking it here is a little bit risky because I could miss, but I think not taking helmet damage would be nice. Or, sorry, rough skin damage. So we're going to avoid that. Obviously, yeah, he can just switch back and forth where my sun turns out, but they're really not doing anything for me because I already outspeed his entire team unless he's Scarf Golden Go. Or I guess Scarf Meowscarada. So yeah, luckily we're giving it a difficult time. I do like the Habanberry. I think that's a smart bring, but Scale Shot was just always better for me than Dragon Claw since it doesn't like make contact. And because it hits multiple times, so it breaks past resist berries pretty easily. So that's nice. I don't know. I really doubt he lets his chomp go down. Okay, I stand corrected. So we have 2 turns of Sun left. Nothing wants to take a Heat Crash. Meowscarada comes in. We're half defense, but there's no way this guy outspeeds us. Is it Sucker Punch Meowscarada? There's no way, right? I mean, even then, it's a roll. Bro, if he's actually Sucker Punch, that's crazy. Why did this come in? Is it Sash? I'm stressed now because this is my only way to beat Clefable, so I need to save it. I think this has some way to live what I'm about to do. So I think I've got to save it. I'm gonna switch to Pert. I can't. Yeah, okay, it is Sucker Punch. Nice. So he did suss that out. Might be banded then, since it's Knock Sucker. If it goes for Flower Trick here, we know that it's neither. But I do expect it to switch out. And I am just going to click Earthquake because that hits the rest of his team. So he does switch. Okay, he's banded. Get the 31% on Clef. Did we confirm we were faster than Clef? I hope we're slower. Okay, we are slower. He gets a Wish up. But I can go straight into Gouging Fire here. And I can just heal up with Morning Sun. Obviously, he can Wish Pass into something if he chooses. I guess Wish Passing into Meloetta would be a little scary, but it's no longer Choice Spec, so it can't one-shot me. So I will just get my health back up, and his main check to Gouging Fire is gone. So as soon as we can get Sun... So we need to get Sun up and then Scale Shot, which is a hard task. He does Moonblast, but we do heal. So he wishes back to full, but I can just Sunny Day. And this has become like a really good set into him, funnily enough. Unfortunately, as long as Clef's in, we can't boost. So he is willing to give up his Meowscarada into Gouging Fire. I guess if he's banded, then he actually is doing 47 to 56 with Knock. A little bit more with Triple Axle, 59 to 69 if he's Jolly Band. It's tough. What is he going to lock into here? Probably a Dark move, right? I mean, as long as I don't let Gouging Fire go down, it's always an issue for him. It kind of just wins. So I think I can go back into Pert here. If he knocks, he takes the helmet chip. He does knock. Again, the giant knockoff on the screen. Gets rid of our helmet, but Swampert did its job. It's done with whatever it was trying to do. I think I will just flip turn here. If he knocks me out with knockoff here, it's fine. We can either go into Terapagos to spin and force Golden Go in, or we can go into Go-Goat and actually start setting up on this. Because if we get knocked, we still have a chance to heal, so it's not too bad. It will do a lot of damage to Goat, though. Yeah, ugh, knock does like 70%, so never mind, we can't set up on this. So I don't know that he's actually Calm Mind Clefable since he's got Wish over Moonlight. So his knock here without an item is doing 26 to 32. So it's liable to not KO us, which is kind of funny. So actually, I can just click Earthquake here. Yeah, okay, it does knock me out. He does get the roll, assuming he's not adamant. And now he gets a free knock into whatever comes in. I think I will bring in Terapagos. Knock will hurt, but we don't have an item, so it won't hurt that much. Yeah, if I get rid of this Chesto Berry, and these calcs with Terapagos are so annoying because even if you remove the ability, you always have to change your health to like 99%, or else it always shows the damage. So knock with no item still does 50% to us, which is kind of insane. But a Terra Starstorm does 50% back. I could spin to get faster than this. Kind of put us in the position we were in earlier, but Golden Go also has a chance to come in. I could Dark Pulse calling the Golden Go coming in. I think I will. That's tough. Because Knock 2-shots us. So it's kind of a wasted Pokemon if we do that. I think I will spin. Okay, he does go into the Golden Go. Which is fine. It is a burnt turn, but we can't just Dark Pulse this. We really just need it weakened. I do wish I had run a little more speed on the Gouging Fire, but that health was for certain Garchomp matchups. We're faster than the Golden Go. I have like no speed on this guy. We get a nasty crit. We probably still don't knock it out. Golden Go doesn't have a way to boost speed, does it? I thought that was like its one kind of flaw, if it has flaws. Watch this be a speed tie. That would be so funny. So we do not get to 10%. It's recover, so we need 1 flinch to win this encounter. I think he might see that this is a losing battle and go back into Meowscarada. But I'm not in a position to call that, because if he gets back to full, then we need more than 1 flinch, and that's not a game I'm trying to lose. So if our Turtle outspeeds Golden Go, then so does Gouging Fire, so this thing's not an issue. It does just click Make It Rain. It doesn't knock us out, so that's kind of huge. Dark Pulse will knock this out. Don't know that he keeps it for anything, because it doesn't beat Water Goat. So he's kept his Fable alive really well, which is tough. It's hard for us to deal with Go-Goat, especially assuming he's unaware. The way he's played it, I'm almost sure he's unaware. We do knock out the Golden Go, because it was like 0 speed. Meows comes in. I will just click Terra Starstorm. I guess I could click Rest in case he clicks Sucker, but he definitely doesn't click Sucker here. He definitely clicks Knock Off. Yeah, I'll just go for the Starstorm. Knock Off, unfortunately, has pretty much infinite PP, so we can't really stall that out. Again, we're back to Gouging Fire versus Meowscarada that I could have just risked earlier, I suppose. I mean, Knock's not knocking us out. But I'm stuck with Morning Sun. Yeah, I gotta do it. Go-Goat's not winning the battle versus it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Morning Sun once on the Knock. That way I lose my boots. And suddenly Knock is doing 31 to 37%. That's the one way I lose. Yep. Yeah. The crit on the Knock that does 50% is the one way I lose. I mean, that's brutal, right? But how are we supposed to counterplay that? Knock does, with an item, a non-Z move item, it does 47 to 56 if he's adamant. It does 51 to 61, so it never KOs under any circumstance. We heal back up to full, and it's only doing 30%, 45% with a crit, so it would never knock us out. We can Morning Sun back up, eventually get our Sunny Day up, Heat Crash, Heat Crash, Heat Crash, win the game. Unfortunately, not what happened. I mean, Terraing doesn't matter here. Horn Leech does 20%. Knockoff does... It could KO me if he's adamant here, so they would show that. It actually knocks me out with a max roll from Timid. Yeah, there's no way. Go-Goat lives 2, so Bulk Up doesn't do anything. I guess I try to heal. the bad luck's back. We won that game without the crit on Gouging Fire because we Morning Sun until we're in a position to take 2 knockoffs. And then what we do is we Sunny Day, get the attack boost, Scale Shot to outspeed the Meowscarada and the Meloetta for sure. Heat Crash, Heat Crash, Heat Crash, 3 turns in the sun, and it wins the day. But because of the crit, we did lose. And I guess that's Pokemon, but I feel like I had so much bad luck in the last league that I was hoping it wouldn't come back to bite me here. Yeah, even if we Milk Drink there, if we lived on like 5%, Milk Drink's never keeping us up. But yeah, that's the way Pokemon goes, right? Sometimes you can win through hacks, but most of the time you lose through it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.